Hey, lovely people. I have to share this article that I'm looking at right now from AP News, written by Larry Neumeister. The title is Brooklyn Preacher Who Boasted of Ties to NYC Mayor Gets 9 years in Prison for Multi-Year Fraud. Now, I have to say, this is about Bishop Lamar Whitehead. And I knew the name, I knew the face because Tasha K had an interview with this man. And I remember from that interview, he seemed very over the top. And y'all know I give a lot of, especially men in the church, leading churches, either they're a bishop, they're a pastor, they're something, right? I give them a lot of side eye. And I am just so interested in how shady this article is, especially in this case with this particular bishop. The stories I've heard about this man and how he used his congregation is just wild. Let's get started with the article though, because it is so shady. A flashy Brooklyn preacher who has played up connections to New York City's mayor was sentenced Monday to 9 years in prison for multiple frauds. Lamor Whitehead, aged 45, of Paramus, New Jersey, was sentenced in Manhattan federal court by Judge Lorna G. Schofield, who said she didn't see meaningful remorse from the Rolls Royce driving bishop convicted of fleecing one parishioner out of $90,000 in retirement savings, among other scams. Now, this is not an article, but from my understanding, he was using money allegedly from his congregation to wear the flashy clothes that you see him in right now. He was using their money, their hard-earned money, to buy the luxury goods. Okay, I'm continuing. In a rambling statement, Miller Whitehead claimed he was very remorseful, stated in quotes, but boasted of his good deeds for his community and expressed regrets about his trial, prompting the judge to interrupt him with a reminder that sentencing isn't a time to relitigate the case. The judge heard the evidence. The jury rendered its verdict, she said. She is not playing around. In March, a jury convicted Miller Whitehead of all charges, including wire fraud, attempted extortion, and making false statements. Schofield said the preacher committed perjury when he testified. Let's say that again. The judge, Schofield, said the preacher committed perjury when he testified. The judge, she said a significant prison sentence was necessary because there was a high probability that Miller Whitehead would commit crimes in the future. This is a bishop. Particularly because previous convictions for similar crimes did not deter him from committing more crimes. You don't seem to have an appreciation of the impact of your crimes, is what the judge said, in quotes. Your Honor, I am an honorable man and my children need me. Oh my gosh, she brought the children into it. He said as he asked to be spared a prison term and requested to become the poster child of another chance, in quotes. Miller Whitehead developed a friendship with Mayor Eric Adams, NYC mayor, while Adams served as Brooklyn's borough president before his election to the city's top job. Prosecutors contended that Miller Whitehead used the name of Adams to commit fraud and attempted extortion. Adams was not accused of any wrongdoing. Okay, I'm just going to say that mayor is affiliated with some interesting people. I would just say that. Miller Whitehead mentioned Adams during his remarks before the sentence was announced. Asked about the sentence during an unrelated news briefing Monday, Adams said, Bishop Whitehead is in my prayers and I wish the best for him. Wow. Wow. So Miller Whitehead became a religious figure in 2013 when he formed the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries. He was also known to wear designer clothing and was once the victim of robbery. Y'all remember the robbery? When $1 million in jewelry was stolen from him by gunmen who surprised him during a church service. That was actually recorded live, and people were questioning whether it was real, if that was a scam, if that was some kind of, incident where he was just trying to make some money out of it. Who knows? Okay, so although he preached primarily in Brooklyn, he owned a $1.6 million home in Paramus, New Jersey, and an apartment in Hartford, Connecticut. Okay, Assistant U.S. Attorney Derek Wilstrom requested a sentence of over 12 years in prison, saying Miller Whitehead had defrauded large financial institutions as well as the parishioner who lost her life savings. Can you imagine saving $90,000 and you're thinking in your older age that you're going to retire from that money only to be defrauded by a bishop of a church out of all of your money? Okay, so in quotes, we have here statements. He didn't discriminate. He defrauded everyone, Wilkstrom said. Miller Whitehead, Wilkstrom said, lied and he stole over and over again. He can't stop stealing. He won't stop lying, the prosecutor said. This is who the defendant is. Oh my gosh. Wilkstrom said Miller Whitehead possessed a psychological and delusional failure to accept that he committed crimes and must be punished. Besides the prison term, Miller Whitehead also was ordered to pay $85,000 in restitution and to forfeit $95,000. His lawyer, Don Florio, had urged no prison time. What? Oh my goodness. Citing her client's charitable works. Oh my goodness. Charitable works and saying you can't ignore all he has done in the community. I want to know what he's done in the community. If anyone knows and goes and attended this man's church, I would love to hear about what the good he has done in the community. Has he elevated the community? This is something I've always had an issue with a lot of black churches, is that, okay, you see the church there, you look around the church, the area is in complete shambles in a lot of cases. It's literally a church in the hood, and you don't see over years of time any improvements on the people there in their lives. You don't see booming businesses. You don't see the area getting cleaned up. You still see a church across from a liquor store. Why is the liquor store still there? Why are there no businesses? Why are people still having the same struggles while they've been attending your church for 10, 20, 30, 40 years? All right, that's just my little rant. But let me know what y'all think about this. The ending statement is, if not for those good works, the judge said, Miller Whitehead's prison sentence would have been longer. I love to know what kind of good he did in the community. I'm sorry, but just reading about these incidents and then hearing the interview that Tasha K had with this man, I can't think of anything positive about him. I know everyone has their good and their bad, but this is pretty bad. Let me know what y'all think, and I will talk to y'all later.